Hi everybody, it's Mike back here with Slam Academy. Today is a super sweet and short tutorial about envelopes. Just want to talk about the 4 parameters that are controlling all of your synths probably all of the time, and something that I think is a little slept on in a lot of modern music production. So let's hop into a wavetable. We've got a couple of envelopes just immediately available to us. Here our amplitude envelope generally set to control the volume of our noise. So if I just press this note, let's just take a listen to what happens. I hold a note. Oh, and I've got a couple of parameters on here. Let's turn these sends off. This is just a full sustain, no release envelope. This is probably the most utilized envelope of all right now, especially with like a lot of modern bass music just being on-off noises. But let's dive into these actual parameters and what they actually mean. Let's kind of make this look a little bit cooler. We have attack here up front. This is ADSR. Attack is essentially the time it takes to get to the peak of your sound. Now, it doesn't have to be the peak of your sound. Some envelopes will allow you to pull the attack to actually be lower than the decay. But in this case, this is like basically how long do you take till you get to the bit of the transient of your noise. Then, oh, and by the way, I do want to point out this little wiggle buddy. We got some control over here. Again, some envelopes have this, some don't. The traditional envelope might just be straight line. If we look at an analog, I think you get to choose between linear and exponential. But always fun to kind of curve this. So kind of the ramp up to the attack. Let's just listen to the difference between, well, I'll set this to sustain. We'll pull this back a little bit, about a second. Here it kind of ramps there, or we could kind of do more of a smooth attack. This one's also really nice to kind of ease the burden. See, it's almost immediately on, but it has a little bit of a slower introduction there. So today I'm making I'm wearing my kimono because it's Smooth Friday or whatever day this video comes out. I'm not really sure. But we're making some classy, saucy vibes here. So I'm going to slow the attack down a little bit. We add a little wiggle, a little boogie. And then what I'm actually going to do is, so you can see this second node here, as I move this around, this targets the decay and the sustain, if you look down here. And what we're doing here is you're essentially setting the time it takes, which is the decay, to get to the sustain, which is a decibel level. So this is the sustain is actually the odd one out. It's a decibel level. The other 3 are times, usually in milliseconds. So your attack, we're taking 419 milliseconds to get here to the peak of the noise. And then the decay is the next stage of the envelope, which is how long it takes to get to the sustain level. Now, the sustain level is the level that we maintain when we're holding the key. So it does make sense for this to be a volume. Now, if I hold a key here, watch what happens. I'm holding my key. You saw it went up to 12 dB and then it dropped down to negative 24. It's because our sustain is negative 12 dB. So that makes sense, and it took 640 milliseconds to do so. So that's the next kind of 2 parts. They sort of intertwine. And then release is pretty simple and pretty obvious. It's how long does the sound persist for and as it fades out after you let go of the sustain. So a really long release time. Doesn't matter what we do here. If I just have a really long release, press a note, let go of the note, it's going to persist for 8.72 seconds, which is pretty long. Obviously, there's like a bunch of different uses for all of these. You know, I'm a big fan of the full, like, bricked out square with no release, just on and off. But I figured we wanted to use maybe a more classic envelope. And actually, if you check out our channel and you look at the little shape in the shield of Slam's logo, that is an ADSR envelope. Now you know, you can never unsee it. So let's go ahead and set this amplitude envelope to something that is kind of nice. That's kind of cool. That's sort of what I'm going. Let's pull this in a little bit. I'm kind of going for a swell here, right? Depending on your vibe, you might need a couple of different mores. Maybe we could make a pad in addition to this. But now what I want to do is I want to grab a secondary envelope. Now I could take my amplitude envelope and use this one envelope for everything. I could do that. In fact, here, look, if we go over to our matrix, look, amp is like, it is just an envelope by default that targets the amplitude of the noise. That doesn't mean you can't use it to target other things. Now, we are provided with envelope 2 and envelope 3, which are just envelopes. They don't exist until you route them to anything. But often what I'll do, especially for a noise like this, is like, no, I want to make a noise where every parameter feels like it's moving in tandem, right? So you know what? Let's go ahead and use the amplitude. We're going to target... we'll target our oscillator one position just with the amplitude envelope. And now look at how this moves. It's a little bright there. Excuse me. I'm going to put a limiter on this so we're not too spicy. All right. Right. So this is now being targeted by the amplitude envelope. I can target more parameters. I can come over to oscillator 2. Let's grab something cool like filter or something like that. And now we'll click this guy, target this a little bit. Right? So now we're controlling a bunch of parameters with one envelope, which is a really cool way of making like a lead. A lot of future bass, kind of like funkier stuff might do stuff like this. And if you want a little history lesson, go back in time and look at like Parliament Funk and some of their bass lines. They were controlling a lot of bass lines with just one or two envelopes. They were limited by the technology they had at the time. Now we have things like envelope followers where we can just grab separate things and pull them out on a track. But this is a classic way of using one. Let's go ahead and pop this into a warp mode. And we'll just grab like pulse width, just a little bit, just a little extra something. You can see it kind of crunching up there with the pulse width. Now, this is feeling pretty spicy already. I'm going to go ahead and turn unison on. This is just going to give it a little bit of chorusing. Oh, man, that sounds really good already. And then I could maybe send it to a little bit of reverb here. This is what I had earlier, some reverb and delay. That sounds really great. I honestly don't feel like this needs much. Earlier in my other reel, I was putting on some other stuff, but you know what? Just to kind of encapsulate that, I will just pop on a couple of classic things that I might put on here to make it sound really even better. But I already feel like this sounds super good. It's feeling really, really nice. So this is a very, very classic way of using. Let's just listen to the beat real quick. Right? Super cool. So it's capable of like floating in between a couple of lanes here. It's almost a pad, almost a lead, almost a melody and a harmony. And it's a couple of different roles. You know, if I were to come over here in my amplitude envelope and pull the sustain up, let's say -6, and then in my wavetable clip, I could maybe pull these out a little bit. Now we're going to start floating a little bit more into pad territory. Because I'm just controlling the length of time that this gets to hang out and stick around. I'm going to go back here. And that feels really cool. Now what I'd like to do is just, as a little aside, a little bonus, I do want to point out, we can grab another wavetable for this. I've been using Wavetable because we just have 3 envelopes here and they're just available. But just for the sake of the argument, you know what? Actually, we're going to go back here. I'm going to go back to my normal Wavetable. We'll just do this straight up in here. We have tools that allow us to apply envelopes to different parameters that are not built in. So in our wavetable, look, we've got amplitude. We're using this to control everything. There's envelope 2 and envelope 3, but these control everything within wavetable. So if I wanted to say control the amount of my phaser or my chorus or something like that with another envelope, well, check it out. I have one right here. This guy is looking a little old. Let's see what I have here. Oh, this is the fresh one. This is the one we want. Let's get rid of that guy. There's going to be a billion. If you go to maxforlive.com, you're going to be greeted with many. So let's check this out. So I can pull my attack. Look, I can even set it. What did we have over here on our amplitude? Let's copy paste here a little bit. 419 on the attack. Decay was 647. Sustain. Boom. 683. I mean, it doesn't have to be perfect, and we had some like little curvies in here a little bit, just a little bit. Pull this over here, and now we can either do remote or mod. Let's just hit map over here. Maybe in the dry wet. Look at that. You want more? Okay, cool. Duplicate it, grab another one. See how these are now moving with some extra envelopes? So check it. We've just like decoded the mystery of the ADSR envelope. It is no longer a mystery to you, I hope. It is truly a tool to be used, and nowadays, it's 2025 when I'm shooting this video, everyone's using LFOs. Everyone's using randomizers, and that's cool. I am guilty of that all the time, but the envelope lives right there, and the very, very subtle strength of this is if you're a live musician, grabbing an LFO and moving it around requires you to give up one of your hands, which you're probably used to playing stuff with, and dedicating it to turning a knob. And you don't want to do that. But an envelope is just ready to go when you trigger the note. So this is an expressive control. Now you get to just be like, hey, no, I press F1. All of these parameters move with the press of one key, and that is the strength of an envelope. So I hope that you gain something out of this video, and you're hopefully going to start using envelopes in your own time. We've talked in the past about loop modes with envelopes in one of our previous Slam videos. That's also a really helpful tool. Those work a little bit more akin to LFOs themselves. But this is truly, at its heart, how envelopes were meant to be used, I think. And it goes deeper. I mean, we put it here on the amplitude. We could put this a little bit on the pitch. I mean, we could put it, we can time the envelope out to be different every time we hit a velocity that's harder or softer. There's so many different control parameters. Just saying this now, I feel like I'm going to have to just do a control parameter tutorial, but, that's okay, because I like shooting these. So check it out. Envelope follower, we have 2 envelope midis, and then just 1 amplitude envelope controlling everything. Super simple setup, but really hopefully descriptive. If you like this video, please be sure to hit subscribe and share and like and all that good stuff. Drop a comment if you want to see future techniques or there's something that you're unsure about. Drop us a comment and let us know what you're into. And if you're really, really dedicated to continuing your path as a music producer, check us out at slamacademy.com and check out our programs where we teach stuff like this every day of the week. It's super fun. I'll see you there. Bye.